The Gladiator II trailer dropped the other day. So today we're going to break it down. We're going to listen to it, see what's going on with the music, and I'm going to show you how you'd create something like that. We're going to try and get it as close as possible. So the first thing to do is to check it out.
It is an art, choosing gladiators. They're usually...
So I can already tell these are vocals from the vocalist Lisa Gerrard. She's the one that worked on the first Gladiator as well. So the composer would have been sent the vocals from the movie for this.
You have something in you. Rage. Never let it go.
Okay, so the intro is really simple. We're just holding down a note here. Let's just find that. Let's listen again.
It is...
Here we go.
an art, choosing gladiators. They're usually prisoners of war. Art, choosing gladiators. It is an art, choosing gladiators.
So it sounds like we've got some low brass starting that off. That's a bit too bright, but what I can do is I can add a filter to that just to bring it down. There we go. Sounds like it's going to have a lot of reverb on, so this is Black Hole by Eventide. Oh, first we need to find out what BPM we think this is.
I claim this city for the glory of Rome.
You have something in you.
Yeah, 100's close enough. Let's just go with that. Okay, it's not just going to be one brass. There's going to be a low pad on that as well. I do have another really cool low brass. So that was Forza, by the way. I do have another Audio Imperial. Talos low brass. I've got that as well. I know they have some really nice pads actually. So. That sounds absolutely massive. A bit too big, I think, if anything, especially for an intro. I'm just going to lay that in. That could be nice because it's fading back in, but it's tempo synced, so that would work really well actually. Let me come to the next one. Copy and paste. I'm just going to EQ. I might EQ some of that out, just so it's not as big. Let's have a listen.
It is an art, choosing gladiators.
Yeah, it's got some strings as well, so let's... It's playing the same note, it's playing the G. That's just one violin, just playing the G, but it's going to be a chord. What chord is it? It could be the G major. It might not be G major. I tell you, I'm going to be able to find out from that vocal. So I'm going to play the vocal line on the piano. So.
They're usually prisoners of war.
I claim this city for the glory of Rome.
You have something in you. Rage. Never let it go.
A really good tip for you is to, if you buy Scalar VST, yeah, you can get it from Plugin Boutique. I think I got it for free. It's a music theory workstation. But I'll just show you right now. So this is Scalar 2, and if I just click record here, it's waiting for the input. And then what I can do is I can play in that vocal melody that we'd just heard on the trailer. So the root note is definitely playing the G, and then the vocal melody is doing something like this. On the VST, it's highlighted all the notes that I've played around here, and then it's told me the detected scales here. So it could be any of these. These are just suggestions, so you kind of have to go through them a little bit to see which ones are working. It's come up as a G harmonic major scale, which sounds about right. And there's that. Da, da, da. Now, obviously, I don't have Lisa Gerard to sing on this track, so I do have something similar as a VST. I think I can't even remember what it's called. Jaeger. Jaeger do a really nice one. So let me load.
Prisoners of war. I claim this city for the glory of Rome.
So it's got a huge drum fill. Da, 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 da.
Glory of Rome.
We're in triplets here. That's a triplet drum fill. Drums are always layered. So in my template, as you can see here, I've got quite a few different drums. So basically I can just click here and play. I can click on this one. So when I'm layering drums, so here's the first instrument that I played. Now I go into damage. Nice. So now we've got that. So I've got my little drum fill in. Let's just listen to that. This is only really rough. Obviously, I'm not trying to create it exactly. I'm just trying to give you some ideas of how something like this would be created. So it's absolutely not going to be exact, but I'll give you the rough idea. Okay, intro done. Let's see what happens in the next section.
Rome has taken everything from me, but I will have my vengeance.
So in the trailer world, the first section is literally just kind of setting the tone of the trailer. The middle section is where we add a little bit more movement. It's where more of the storyline would be shown in the trailer. So in this reference on the Gladiator trailer, what they're doing, instead of staying on the G, staying here, they're introducing a chord progression. The drums are also, you've got a little galloping thing.
This life, there is... I will have my vengeance. But
You've almost got a 4 to the floor. Okay, so I'm just going to add that in. I just want to work out the chord progression now.
for fury, the general will do.
to greatness. I own you now. But whose head could I give?
So it's definitely being played on the cellos, the cellos and the double bass probably. It sounds so we're not on the G anymore. We've gone to the D sharp. The very low instruments are staying on the D sharp, but a cello is moving up. So it would be something like no. Something like that. And I'm doing the same thing as what I was talking about with the drums. This is all being layered. So this cello that I've just played in here is Spitfire's chamber strings. What I can do is I can just copy and paste and put that into a different library as well. So this is being played in Jaeger, so I have some more textures, just a different sound. Also sounds thicker.
Rome has taken everything.
So the second time that this is repeated, you have more strings coming in. So we're creating more chordal, making this more into a chord as opposed to just which sounds fine, but to create thickness, we can add harmonies. That's really nice. I'm not saying that that's what Gladiator is doing, but it's like that. Again, layer everything. It sounds like they're bringing in a lot of short strings, again quite low. So it will be like cello and double bass again. Again, when that drum fill comes in, you don't need to be playing everything. So I've just played those short double basses in. When that drum fill comes in, I'm just going to take them out. We're creating trailers. It's really important to be building continuously, and a really good way of doing that is to hold the root note, especially for the intro, which is exactly what they're doing here. I forget which note. The G. For the second section where we're bringing in some more momentum, first of all, we've started on a new chord. So we go here now to the D sharp. We're bringing in more movement here, so we're going And then when that's repeated, we're bringing in a lot more of the shorter strings, which is again making the song drive. So in the second section, for the first half of the second section, it's just nice. Let's turn that click off. It's quite slow, and you have got that dun dun dun. Yeah, the second time when that repeats, we've got a lot of these short strings coming in. And again, like we did with the orchestra and the drums, it's all about layering. As I mentioned with the strings, it's you know, you can just be playing the root notes with the violins, with the violas and the cellos, but that doesn't give a lot of depth. It doesn't give a lot of emotion and thickness. So what you need to be doing, again, the same with what you were doing with the long strings. We do the same with the short strings. So at the minute, all I've played in is the cellos and they're just playing again. But now we need to bring in different melodies using different instruments. So the first one is probably going to be the violin. That's the root note, which that will be happening. So I'll just play that in.
Father's strength. His name was Maximus, and I see him in you.
Most fighters won't survive.
You must help him.
Third section, the big section, is actually, it sounds like it's repeating what we just did on the second act. So we're staying with these big chords. But what we do instead is we really take it up to 11. So we bring a lot more brass in, we bring a lot more strings in, a lot more percussion in as well by the sounds of it.
I don't fight for power. The mass. I don't fight for power. I fight the...
Yeah, so it's the same as the second section. With the brass, if you can remember in the intro, we used it really filtered down, a lot of reverb. In the middle section, I got rid of some of that filtering, but I didn't remove it completely. In the third act, in the big section, I can remove it completely, and I can bring all of that aggression in. And it's things like that that helps us to continuously build. So the sound isn't staying the same, it's evolving the same as the trailer is. So now I'm in the third section, so this is the biggest section, so I'm going to remove all of those elements. They're a bit too soft. When I was playing them in for the middle section, it was really delicate. But because it's the big section, we're... There's also a really short brass stab that's coming in on the chord change, so I'm just going to find one of those. There's that really nice fill that's in the trailer. So I'm definitely going to make sure I add that in. Nice. Da-da-da-da-da-da. There's a really nice chord change in this back end. So originally we're going... But at about here...
Like that.
There's a definite shift at that section, which is really nice. I don't necessarily think it's a new chord. It could be just holding a chord for an extra bar, but let's work this out. I think we're really close with this. The key thing is to understand how it's building. So I'm not exactly replicating what's going on in the trailer. We're pretty close with it, but it's understanding that we're constantly trying to build. And that's either through instrumentation or through the music itself, so the chord progressions. So even I can fall victim of this, is we find a nice chord progression and we never deviate from that. So we just keep repeating. But there's only so far that can take us before we there's only so many layers we can keep adding to bring intensity and to add to the climax. So this is educational for me, and I've been doing this for quite a long time, to try and deviate and to add interesting chord progressions that help elevate the music. And I think that's what makes really great trailer music. And it's not just the production. The production needs to be of the highest quality. But it's also understanding how to take an idea, quite a simple idea, because there's never really any extreme melodies going on. Not usually, sometimes there is. But in the case of this, it's long sweeping chords. And it's really interesting to hear how they're able to take simple ideas and make them build and build and build into this epic track that landed Gladiator II. It's really interesting, and that's what separates a lot of the professionals to some of the amateurs, I feel like it's cheating to just add a riser at the end of the climax to help it build. I am going to add one, however, the music is doing so much that a riser sound effect is just going to elevate that. It's not really cheating. So that's my rough breakdown of what's going on with the Gladiator 2 trailer. It looks absolutely fantastic, big fan. The music's absolutely great. Hopefully I've shown you a few things with this video. Roughly how the composer would have gone about doing it. This would need, I've written this in a couple hours. This would need a few days, depending on how fast you work. It would take me a few days, and it would need a hell of a lot of mixing. It would need a lot more production value to this, but hopefully you found this really interesting. If there's any other trailers that you would like me to break down for you, leave a note in the comments and I'll take a look and I'll show you how the composer's gone about writing the music for that. So thanks a lot.